Hello and welcome to HITC Sport, and Newcastle United are screwed once again. Thursday afternoon brought heartbreak for Newcastle United fans who after 17 long weeks finally saw their dreams shattered. They thought Ashley was a goner, and as a bonus they thought they'd become the richest club in the world. All the prospective new owners had to do was pass the Premier League's test.
PCP Capital Partners have agreed a £300 million deal to buy Newcastle United from Mike Ashley.
No way, I can't wait to sign Mbappe. Love, we got any more cans? Oh great, some takeover news, I'll turn this off.
Newcastle United's Saudi-led takeover is now off after the consortium announced today they will be withdrawing their offer.
Love, have we got any more cans? Yes, on Thursday it was announced that the public investment fund, Amanda Staley, the Reuben brothers, PCA Capital Partners, whatever you want to call them, they'd withdrawn the offer. They were sick of waiting for the Premier League to make a decision, who'd been sitting on the deal for months now. There's talk of a load of reasons why the deal stalled. There was the whole piracy thing with Qatar, BN Sport, all that mess, really messy. There was talk that the Premier League wanted the Saudi Arabian state to be down as the director rather than the public investment fund. That wasn't going to budge, so that scuppered it. And then there was also talk that Mike Ashley tried to renegotiate the price the other week when the Saudis lost their exclusivity. I mean, fair play to Ashley, any way to make an extra few quid. But for all the talk of piracy, surely at the top of the list should have been the human rights issue. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund was set to own 80% in Newcastle United, who were chaired by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who was involved in the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which really should have been a red flag from the start. But no, apparently piracy was the biggest issue, because at the end of the day it's all about money. That's all the Premier League and modern football in general really cares about. But whatever it was that was an issue for the Premier League, they wouldn't make a decision. They hesitated longer than a fat bloke in a chippy who couldn't decide what he wanted to order. Weeks and months went by with no word from the Premier League. Apparently the process was only meant to take 6 weeks. But every week the uncertainty grew, there was murmurs of disruption in the deal, reasons it wasn't going to go through, reasons it was going to go through, which is a little bit alarming considering the owners and directors test is meant to be confidential. But like I say, rather than make a decision, they kind of just sat there. The whole thing became a geopolitical war between Qatar and Saudi Arabia because of the piracy BN Sport, while Newcastle were just sat there like Schrodinger's cat. Will they come out a super rich club who can challenge the elite and go on to join the Champions League? Or will they just be owned by Ashley at the end of it all? The Premier League have been absolutely appalling throughout all this, and it'll stay that way because there's no way they can actually comment on the whole process. Richard Masters is too busy cozying up to Liverpool's title winners and giving awkward fist bumps like a dad at a rave. But anyway, it's a good job we didn't get caught up in the whole thing. Would have looked very stupid if we made a load of content about the whole Newcastle takeover.
Farewell, Ashley. Your time is up. Go in peace. And I, for one, would like to welcome our new Saudi Arabia overlords. Ah, good on them. Oh, the takeover's not even gonna fucking happen, is it?
Here comes the money. Oh, it didn't work.
The richest club in England. Is this real life? Right now, their squad is a big bag of rubbish, but I'm gonna look 2 years into the future, 2022, and just try and predict, with all this money, what Newcastle fans can look forward to.
Number 7, Kalidou Koulibaly to Newcastle, £70 million. It was only a matter of time before Newcastle were involved in this list, providing the takeover goes through of course. We're all going to look a bit stupid if it doesn't. For f***'s sake. A penny for Amanda Staley's thoughts as well, who's failed by Newcastle not once, but twice. The poor woman is desperate to buy the Magpies. It won't be long before she's outside St James's Park, throwing pennies out of her purse at the ground, screaming and shouting before she's dragged away by security and then forced to do an interview with the Magpie channel on Newcastle Fans TV. Check them out, the good lads are here. It must be absolutely gutting for Staveley and the consortium. They've invested so much time, millions of pounds into the whole thing. They put a £17 million deposit down. That's nearly half of Joe Linton. It does make you think though, how did it get so far for the whole thing to fall on its arse? You wouldn't spend that much time and effort on something you knew wasn't going to work. It would be like getting all the way to the final of Britain's Got Talent, only for Simon Cowell to kick you to the curb in the final and tell you you're absolutely crap. I know I was joking before about all the videos we've made about the Newcastle takeover, but literally everybody's been swept up by the whole thing. I mean, the press have had a field day. The amount of players they've linked with the move to St James's Park. We've had Cavani, Coutinho, Koulibaly, Mertens, Van der Beek, Wilfried Zaha, James Rodriguez. Literally anyone who is a footballer and wants a move have been linked with the Magpies in recent weeks. And now the poor buggers are just lucky that Andy Carroll and Zimmer frame have signed on for another year. It's been one of the most complex takeover sagas known to man, with more twists and turns than an F1 track or an episode of Game of Thrones. You can look at it from 1,000,001 different points of view and come out with a different opinion each time, but at the heart of the matter, the people who are really going to suffer is the Newcastle United fans and the city itself. There was talk that the new owners were going to invest up to £250 million just into the region itself, a part of the country that has been neglected for far too long. As for the club itself, where's it going to go now? Mike Ashley obviously wants to sell, so he's not going to bother to invest millions and millions of pounds to improve the squad, which means Steve Bruce is going to be shopping in the bargain bin at Poundland just like Rafa Benitez a few years ago. But no matter what, there'll be no mention of Mike Ashley doing a bad job, or any criticism aimed at all at Steve Bruce, who's got so many pals in the media, it's frightening. The way they've licked Bruce's arse and pretending that he's been doing a fantastic job has been embarrassing, when everyone associated with Newcastle United can say that that isn't the case. Yeah, he's done alright, he's done a lot better than most people thought, but the fact that he was considered Manager of the Year by Steve McManaman on commentary is absolutely laughable. What we're going to do next, give Player of the Year to Marcus Alonso? There's talk that this takeover isn't over and that there's other parties also interested in the club, but I'm not buying it. It seems like false hope for the Toon fans, who are going from Mbappe number 9 shirts to planning the route to Bristol City away next season when they get relegated under Ashley once again. But then again, maybe Newcastle fans shouldn't burn their Mbappe shirts just yet. On Friday, Newcastle released a statement through Lee Charnley saying that Ashley is still 100% committed to selling the club to the Saudis. So how is that going to happen? That's music to the ears of Amanda Staveley and the Reuben brothers and everyone else involved, but it just seems like a distant pipe dream now. If Ashley's that keen to sell to the Saudis, that must tell you one thing: there's no one else interested in buying this club right now, which is horrendous news for Newcastle fans. When Newcastle got beat against Liverpool on the final day, it was a toothless performance. Ignore the first minute when they were winning when Dwight Gale scored out of nowhere. Newcastle were pretty pathetic. They didn't even try for the most part, they just sat and let Liverpool do what they wanted. And that is Newcastle in a nutshell right now. They're not going to challenge the big teams, and fans everywhere thought that was going to be the final game of the Ashley era. A few days later, here we are. Who knows when it might end? And we'll peel behind the curtain here. Even as I'm making this video on Friday afternoon, the story's changing, it's moving. I mean, by the time this goes up, Newcastle might have been taken over by someone completely different. No one knows what's going to happen. I can guarantee you one thing though, the Premier League won't have said a word. But let us know in the comments below, what do you think about the whole takeover situation? If you're a Newcastle fan, I'd love to know what your opinion is on the whole thing. Or if you're from anywhere, to be honest. This takeover saga has dominated the footballing landscape for months right now, so no matter where you are, you've probably got an opinion on it, and I want to hear it. Unless you're Richard Keys, keep your opinions to yourself, you hairy man. Surely one day in the future, Mike Ashley won't be Newcastle United owner, but today just isn't that day. Newcastle fans, sorry to say it, but get the cans back in the fridge. God, next season is going to be grim. There's no way we're going to fluke survival again. I mean, however, Jordan Pickford chucked one in his net. Right, there we go, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a fan of it, like it, share it, subscribe to HITC Sport, all that good stuff. But until next time, we'll see you around.